Before you met them, God already had them in the plan, not as a possibility, not as one of several options he was considering, as the specific, chosen, already decided person who was written into the blueprint of your life before either of you understood what was being built. And I need you to sit with that for a moment before we go any further. Because what that means, specifically, for where you are right now, in this season, in this silence, in this waiting that has gone longer than you thought you could endure, is that nothing that has happened between then and now has removed them from the plan. Not the separation, not the silence, not the distance, not the complications and the misunderstandings and the things that went wrong in ways you did not anticipate and could not fully explain. None of it moved them out of the blueprint. Because what God writes into a plan before the plan begins does not get edited out by the circumstances the plan passes through on its way to completion. They were always part of this, and they still are. Now here's what I want you to understand before we go any deeper into this word. I saw something in a dream, a specific, detailed, emotionally precise scene between a man and a woman that contained one of the most significant things God has ever pressed me to deliver in a message like this. And I am going to take you into that scene in a moment, but I am saving the most important part of it, the part that I believe is going to answer the question you have been most afraid to ask about this person for the right moment. Because it needs to land with the full weight of everything that comes before it. And if you leave before we get there, you are going to miss the thing this entire word was sent to give you. Stay with me. Now let me start with the thing that has been sitting in the atmosphere of your life for longer than you have had language for it. There is someone who measures differently than everyone else. You know this. You have known it for a long time. You may have tried to talk yourself out of knowing it, especially in the harder moments of this season. Especially in the moments when the sensible thing seemed to be to release it and move forward and stop measuring everything against a standard that the circumstances were making increasingly difficult to hold on to. But even in those moments, even when the logical argument for letting go was at its most convincing, something deeper than logic kept bringing you back to the same place. This person is different. Not different in the romanticized, idealized way that people describe early infatuation. Different in a specific, structural, something was placed here intentionally way that you feel most clearly in the moments when you are not trying to feel anything at all. In the quiet, in the honest, in the part of you that has never been successfully convinced by the separation that what you know is not what you know. You have measured other people against them. Maybe not consciously, maybe not in a way you would admit out loud. But when someone new has come into your atmosphere, when someone with genuine qualities and genuine interest has shown up and offered something real, there has been this interior inventory that happens almost involuntarily. And the inventory always produces the same result. Something is missing. Something that this person had. Something that no one else has managed to replicate because what they had was not a personality trait or a set of characteristics that could be found in someone similar. It was them, specifically. The way they were built for you specifically. The way your spirit recognized something in them that it has never recognized in the same way in anyone else. That recognition is not sentiment. It is not the lingering attachment of someone who has not healed yet. It is the specific spiritual accuracy of a person whose soul knows what it was designed for. They are the blueprint. And what God showed me, in the dream, in the scripture, in the song that kept finding me in different places, in different forms, is that the fact that they are the blueprint has not changed. The separation did not change it. The silence did not change it. The complicated history did not change it. The blueprint is still the blueprint. And the architect has never abandoned the plan. Let me take you into the dream now. I saw a man and a woman, and I was made to understand immediately. before anything was said, before the scene developed, that these two people had been apart, not just separated by distance or circumstance. They had been apart in the specific way that creates a gap that both people feel as a daily reality. The kind of apart where time has passed and life has continued moving around the space where the other person used to be, but the space itself has not been filled, cannot be filled, because it was designed for someone specific, and everything else that has been tried in it has made the specific shape of what is missing more obvious rather than less. He came to her, and when he came, he did not come with the casual energy of someone stopping by. He came with the specific posture of someone who has been carrying something for a long time and has finally decided that the carrying is more costly than the releasing, that the weight of what he has not said has exceeded the weight of what he is afraid of saying. He came with intention, with the specific intentionality of a person who has rehearsed this moment in the interior of their private life many times over and has finally moved from the rehearsal to the reality. And he started telling her how he felt. I did not hear every word, but I could feel the quality of what was being transferred between them, the specific quality of words that have been held for too long, finally being released to the person they were always meant to reach, the specific relief of a truth finally being spoken that had been the silent weight of a very long season. He told her how he felt, and then he said, I have something else I need to tell you. And I could see on his face that he was uncertain about how she would receive it. He was carrying the vulnerability of someone who has finally decided to tell the truth about something and does not know yet whether the truth is going to be received the way he needs it to be received. That specific fear on the face of someone who has chosen honesty over safety, because honesty was the only thing left. But here's what I want you to hear about what was happening in her mind, in the interior of her experience of this moment. She was not primarily focused on what he was telling her. She was focused on what his coming back meant. And what it meant to her, in the specific language of her own soul's recognition of this person, was this. This is a full circle moment, because this man, this specific man, is the blueprint. She said it clearly in her thoughts. She said he is the man that everyone else got measured against, even when he was not there. Even when the separation was at its longest, and the silence was at its heaviest, and the evidence for moving forward was at its most convincing. Even then, he was the standard. Every person who came after him was evaluated against the template his presence had established. And every person who came after him came up short, not because they were insufficient people, but because they were not him. And him is what the soul of this woman was calibrated for. She was thinking, this is God's original plan finally coming to completion. And that word, blueprint, kept repeating as the scene faded. Blueprint, blueprint, blueprint. Now let me tell you what God said to me about what that dream means for you. The person you have been carrying in your spirit, the one who measures differently, the one everyone else gets compared against, the one whose absence has created a shape in your life that nothing else has successfully filled. That person is not a mistake of your emotions. They are not a projection of what you wanted and assigned to someone who happened to be present. They are not the lingering attachment of someone who is not healed enough to move forward. They are God's original plan. And here's what I need you to understand about what that means specifically. An architect does not submit a blueprint and then abandon it when the construction gets complicated. A blueprint is not a suggestion. It is not an ideal that gets revised when circumstances make the original plan difficult to execute. It is the specific, detailed, authoritative document that the entire construction is measured against. And when the building process encounters obstacles, when the timeline extends, when unexpected complications arise, when the progress slows in ways that make the original vision harder to hold on to, the architect does not replace the blueprint. He protects it. He returns to it. He uses it as the standard against which every subsequent decision is made. God submitted a blueprint for your life, and He placed this specific person in it. And every complication that has arisen since, every separation and every silence, and every circumstance that has made the original plan look increasingly unlikely, has not caused Him to revise the blueprint. He has been holding it, working toward it, using the complications as part of the construction process, rather than evidence that the construction has been abandoned. The blueprint has not changed. Now, drop blueprint in the comments right now if something in what I just described is confirming something you have known in your spirit about this person. Just that one word, because I want to see who this word is landing for today. And I want you to see the company you are in, the people around you who are holding the same knowing about someone specific, and have been holding it through the same kind of season. Now, let me take you deeper into what God showed me through the song that kept finding me. It found me in 3 different places, 3 completely different locations, 3 different versions, an original and 2 covers. And when something finds you 3 times in 3 different forms, you stop treating it as coincidence, and you start paying attention to what it is trying to say. The song is about someone who has been trying to let the person they love know how they feel. And they have been trying for a long time. And they are not sure the message has been received. And they are not sure whether the person they love still has room for them, or whether the distance and the time and the accumulated silence have produced something in the other person that looks like having moved on. There is a line that captures the interior state of your person right now with more precision than almost anything I could construct on my own. I have been trying so long to let you know how I feel. That is your person, right now, in the private interior of their daily life. They have been carrying something they have not successfully delivered, a knowing about you, a feeling that has not found its way to the right words, or the right moment, or the right courage to be expressed in the way that its weight demands. They have been sitting with it, turning it over, trying to find the angle of approach, trying to calculate whether the reception is going to be what they hope, or whether everything they are about to put on the table is going to be met with the closed door they are afraid you have built. Staring at the phone, working themselves up to the reaching out, and then talking themselves back from the edge of it. I want to speak to why the reaching out has been so difficult for them. Because this is where the enemy's strategy in this season has been most effective. And understanding it is what changes how you pray. Your person has felt a shift in you. They cannot fully articulate it. They cannot point to one specific thing and say that is when everything changed. But something in the atmosphere of what you carry has shifted in a way that they can sense, even through the distance. You have stopped sitting in passive waiting. You have stopped holding your breath for them. You have started living your life, pursuing what God has called you to, focusing on your own growth, investing in the relationships and the purposes and the daily texture of a life that is not on pause for anyone. And that shift, that specific, God-produced fruit of the waiting season shift, is beautiful. But your person is interpreting it incorrectly, because when someone who has been watching your energy from a distance, even indirectly, even through what gets reported back to them, even through the general atmospheric sense that a person carries of someone they are spiritually connected to, when that person observes the shift from passive waiting to active living, they do not always read it as growth. Sometimes they read it as closure, as you having finally made peace with the separation being permanent, as you having moved on in the interior even if you have not announced it publicly. And that misreading is producing paralysis. She has moved on, he has let go. What I had with them was real, but they have finally decided to stop holding on to it. And maybe that is the right decision. Maybe I waited too long. Maybe I lost my window. And the enemy is amplifying that thought with every piece of circumstantial evidence he can find. Every photo that looks like joy without the person. Every record of you doing well. every indication that your life is moving forward, all of it being narrated to them as evidence that they have missed their moment. And so they are oscillating between the reaching out and the pulling back, between the I am going to tell them how I feel and the what is the point if they have already moved on, between the courage that the love produces and the paralysis that the fear of rejection produces. And they are dressing up every time they leave the house, just in case they run into you somewhere. Just in case. That specific detail, the going out dressed like you are about to see someone important, even when you are just running errands. That is the behavior of a person who is carrying something and has not yet found the moment to release it, but is always ready for the moment to come. That is your person right now. Now, here is the word for you in this season, and I want to deliver it directly because this is the practical instruction that changes what happens next. Do not close the door. I am not saying perform availability. I am not saying chase them. I am not saying abandon the boundaries and the growth and the God-centered living that has been producing the glow in this season. I am saying in your prayers, in your posture, in the specific way your spirit holds this situation, do not close the door in your interior, even when the exterior looks like the door is closed, because your person is trying to find the door. And the specific paralysis they are in right now is being sustained by their belief that the door is no longer there, that the separation has become permanent, not because of a decision you made publicly, but because of a shift they sensed in you that they interpreted as finality. Pray specifically that God makes the door visible to them, not the false impression of closure, the actual truth of where your heart is, the held promise, the open posture, the specific knowing that has survived everything this season threw at it. Let that truth be what God carries into the atmosphere of your person's awareness, not through you performing anything, through His specific and sovereign work in the Spirit that communicates what words have not been able to communicate across the distance. And then, trust the blueprint. Now I want to take you to the scripture that has been the anchor of everything I have shared today. Because this passage, when you see what is actually in it, is going to produce a quality of settled certainty that I do not think you have fully had access to yet in this season. Most people read Song of Solomon as a beautiful love poem, and it is. But I want you to read it today as a prophetic document about your specific situation. Because what God said to me through chapter 2 specifically, if the most timely and most personally precise scriptural word for where you are right now. Listen to Song of Solomon 2:9. My beloved is like a gazelle or a young stag. Look, there he stands behind our wall, gazing through the windows, peering through the lattice. I want you to see what is happening in this verse, with your eyes open to the specific detail. He is standing behind the wall, not gone, not absent, not having moved on and built a life in a direction that does not include her. Behind the wall, present, close, on the other side of the specific barrier that exists between them, close enough to gaze through the windows, close enough to peer through the lattice, but not yet on the inside. And he is looking, not casually, gazing, peering, the specific attentiveness of someone who has not taken his eyes off what is on the other side of the wall. The specific orientation of a person who has physically separated from the thing their soul is fixed on, but whose attention has not wandered, has not been redirected, has not found something else to rest on with the same quality of focus. He is behind your wall, watching, waiting, fixed. And then, in the verses that follow, in the invitation that comes from him in chapter 2, he says something that I want you to receive as the word God is releasing over your situation right now. He says, "Arise, come away with me." And then he says, "See, the winter is past. The rains are over and gone. Flowers appear on the earth. The season of singing has come. The winter is past. I want you to hear that with the full weight it carries for where you are right now. The winter of this separation, the specific cold of a season that has been longer than you expected and harder than you anticipated, that winter is at its end. The rains that came, the complications, the interference, the things that fell on this situation from directions you did not see coming, those rains are over. And what comes after winter and after rain is not a continuation of the gray. It is the specific and irreversible emergence of what was always going to come when the winter finished doing its work. Flowers appear on the earth. Things that were dormant, things that looked, from the surface, like they might not survive the winter, are alive. They were alive the whole time. The cold did not kill them. The cold was preparing them for the specific quality of growth that only comes after a sustained winter. And now the conditions for their emergence are present. The season of singing has come. Drop a rise in the comments if this scripture is landing on you right now as a personal and specific word. Because I believe that Song of Solomon 2 is God's prophetic letter to someone reading this today. The winter is past. The person behind the wall is gazing through the window, and the invitation is being prepared. Now let me bring everything together, because this is the section I have been building toward since the first word of this message. I told you at the beginning that I had something specific to show you from that dream. Something about what the woman was thinking in the moment that man came to her, and that I was saving it for the right moment. Here it is. She was not thinking about what he was saying. She was thinking about what his coming back confirmed. She was thinking, I was right. Not in the triumphant way of someone who won an argument. In the specific, quiet way of someone whose deepest knowing, the knowing they have been carrying through every season of doubt and difficulty and evidence that pointed in the other direction, turned out to be accurate. The knowing they had refused to fully surrender, even when everything around them suggested they should. That knowing was vindicated in the moment he walked through the door. He is the blueprint. She had known it the whole time, measured everything against it the whole time, held on to the standard even when the standard seemed irrational to hold on to. And in the moment of his return, she did not feel surprise. She felt recognition. The deep, bone-level recognition of someone whose spirit has always known what it was designed for, finally seeing it confirmed in the natural. That moment is coming for you. The specific moment when the person who has been the unspoken standard of everything, the one everyone else got measured against without knowing they were being measured, the one whose specific absence has created the specific shape of what has been missing, that person is going to come back through the door. And in that moment, you are not going to feel surprise either. You are going to feel recognition. I was right. I knew it. God did not place something in me that was not real. The blueprint was always the blueprint, and the architect never abandoned the plan. And I want to speak specifically to what that return is going to look like, because the dream showed me something important about the posture of the person who comes back. He did not come back casual. He did not come back with the nonchalance of someone who expects to be received without any acknowledgement of what the separation cost. He came back humble. He came back carrying something, the specific weight of someone who has been in a season of interior reckoning and has arrived on the other side of it with a honesty and an openness and a willingness to say what needs to be said that the previous version of him was not fully operating in. He came with something to confess. And for some of you, this is important. You already know what it is, not because you found out through the normal channels of information, but because God placed it in your spirit. Because the Holy Spirit is not limited by the boundaries of what has been verbalized between you. He is already aware of the full picture, and He has been preparing you to receive the confession with the specific grace of someone who already knows and has been given time to process, and is ready to hear it said out loud, not as new information, but as the final piece of the accountability that makes the foundation of the reconciliation solid. And when they tell you, the knowing is going to make the receiving of it an act of grace rather than a crisis. That is what God has been building in you during the waiting. Not just patience, not just endurance. The specific spiritual maturity of a person who can receive hard truth with grace, because the grace was formed in the long season of carrying more than they showed. You have been becoming someone who can hold this. And when the confession comes, and it is coming, you will not be destabilized by it. You will receive it, and the receiving of it will be the specific foundation on which the reunion is built. Because a reunion built on truth, on the full truth, finally spoken, finally received with grace, is the only kind of reunion that can hold the weight of what God intends for this union to carry. Now let me close with 3 things I want you to carry from this message. The first is this: trust the blueprint. When the enemy presents you with evidence that the plan has been abandoned, when the silence accumulates and the circumstances stack against the visible progress of the promise, return to the blueprint. Not to your feelings about the blueprint, not to the logical assessment of whether the blueprint is still executable given the current conditions. To the God who made the blueprint, to the character of the architect who submitted it. He has never abandoned a plan he committed to. He has never revised a blueprint because the construction got complicated. He holds it, and he is still building according to it. The second is this: what you have been carrying is not a wound. It is a standard. The interior measurement you have been making, the one where everyone else who has come into your atmosphere got held up against the specific template of this person and found to be missing something. That is not the behavior of someone who is broken. That is the behavior of someone whose soul accurately recognizes its own design. You are not measuring them against a fantasy. You are measuring them against the specific standard of what God placed in that person that was designed to match the specific design of what God placed in you. The measurement is accurate, and the standard is still the standard. And the third, and this is the one I want you to write somewhere you will see it on the hard days: the winter is past. What looked like dormancy was preparation. What looked like death was design. What looked like the plan being abandoned was the architect holding the blueprint through the most difficult phase of the construction. And the flowers that appear on the earth after winter, the things that are beginning to emerge in your situation, the shifts in your person's interior, the approach of the moment when what has been behind the wall finally comes through the door. Those are not accidents of timing. They are the season changing, right on schedule. If this word found you at exactly the moment it was sent to find you, if something in you has been saying yes throughout this entire message, do one thing right now while that recognition is still alive. Subscribe. Not for this channel, as a declaration that you are standing on the blueprint and you are not moving from it, that the winter has not convinced you that the spring is not coming, that the person behind the wall is the person in the plan, and that the plan has not changed. And share this word with one person in your life who has been carrying the same kind of knowing about someone specific and needs to hear today that the knowing is not a wound. It is a standard, and the standard is still standing. Your person was always part of God's plan. They were in the blueprint before you understood what was being built, and they are in the blueprint still. And the architect has never put down his pencil. The winter is past. The flowers are appearing, and the one who has been gazing through the window is about to ask you to arise and come away. And if this message spoke to something real in you today, I have 2 more videos on this channel that were made for exactly the season you are in right now. They are on your screen right now. Watch them back to back and let God speak to you through all three. I will see you in the next one.